Welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary. We are doing a series of videos called Sex Cards. These are the cards in front of me. And we call them sex cards because we feel that the problem of sex, particularly the war between the sexes, which we have today, is necessary to be addressed. And we are going to address the problem of sex in the context of love, in the context of the love government, which means that we govern ourselves with love. And sex is the chief characteristic of love. So it all goes together in these cards. These cards are displayed here in a layout of cards, which is a structure. It's a building, it's a house. It's a house of cards. A house of cards is laid out in a structure at the beginning. If you take a deck of cards and you pull out the brand new deck, the cards are all arranged in a set structure. And then the game is you mix them up, you shuffle them so that it becomes random, and then it becomes a matter of chance. So there's two things going on in a card game. There's the chance, and then there's the set structure. That's a symbol of our life. Our lives are very, very different. It seems as if we're like cards that have been shuffled, and we have all kinds of different combinations, characteristics, and chances in our life. But behind it all, there is a structure to our life. And if we don't know that structure, we won't know how to play the game. It'll become mixed up confusion. The love government presents the structure of what we see as life. We're not saying that we're correct, absolutely right, but this is the way we see it at this time, and it looks like this in structural terms. And then after we see the big picture of life, then we go into the details, and that is where we play the card game. We take these cards, which we have interpreted as love. We take a standard tarot deck, and then we arrange it and interpret it in terms of love. Then we get a love tarot deck. Tarot, nobody knows where that word comes from, I don't think, but we interpret it as love. 3 different ways. To row a boat, row your boat, is a love action. The oars in the water, the rocking and the rolling. It's a symbol of sex. Rowing a boat is a symbol of sex. Also, to set things in rows is like a garden. You have rows. That's also a love action because you're organizing things, and it kind of looks, then a garden can look like this. A garden is set up in rows. That's a love action. You get your garden. That's a love. And then the other meaning of roe is a female deer. R-O-E is called a deer, a roe. So the deer, when she makes love, that's also a love action. That's making love. So to row means to love. To love. And all of these different meanings are contained in it. This card is called B. We're going in the sound card part of this thing. We're playing a music. We're playing a song here. We're playing on a piano. We got 7 keys, A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Do, re, mi, so, la, ti, do. There's a scale here of 7. This game is built on 7s. There's 7 up, 7 across, and it has 3 cards at the top. 3 cards, the wild card, the holy card, and the high card are here at the top, which we'll get to. We are now on B. The 2 sides of the card, when we spin these cards to create energy and understanding, we see that they have 2 cards, and the positive side is called the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the negative side is called the Queen of Wands. The positive side is interpreted as a B line, a bee line, and the negative side is, say, be mine. Be mine. So what does that mean? Bee line. Do you ever see a bee line? You're standing out in the field and a bee goes flying by and you track the bee, you look at him, he's flying back to his nest, or her nest I should say. The bee line is very beautiful, but it's not perfectly straight. It doesn't go in a straight line. The bee it's beautiful because it has this waving pattern. The bee is kind of like correcting its course as it goes along, I guess. And that's a good symbol of life. We don't ever go perfectly straight. If you really examine it, there are no straight lines in nature. It's always a little bit wavy. Therefore, we got waves and particles. So when we go through this game, we have the cards are the particles, but they are operating in a wave-like fashion because we're going up like this. We start here and we go up and down these suits, da 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 da. And now we get to sound, and it's A B C D E F G, and then we're going to get up here to the real high notes, and then we're going to start over again. It's a song, it's a dance, it's a melody, it's music. The night then is portraying going in a beeline. We're traveling in a beeline, and there's a certain urgency to it. In terms of the condition of our planet and the project of the love government, there is an urgency. We're making a beeline to something. The beeline is to love, to a state of love. We're going someplace. We're going back to the home, to the hive. If we're worker bees, that means lady bees. The man bees are the drones, and they have one function, and that is to inseminate the queen. And when that's over, they're killed off. But they're drones. Interesting. What just came to mind is the problem we have today with drones. The increasing use of drones as military surveillance objects, and you might say that that's a male project, another patriarchal gimmick or project to exercise control and militarize the citizens. And we just started with the drone program here in 2013 as I'm talking. But, you know, look down the road and you're going to be dronified. We're all going to be dronified. There'll be drones. Every big city will have a drone, and every county, drone. So we link it to this metaphor. Interesting, isn't it? What's going to happen to the drones in the long run? They're going to serve their purpose for a brief while, and then they're going to go the way of all drones in the bigger picture of nature, which is that of a true beeline. In the love government, we are making a beeline for our goal, which is a love culture, a love government, where all of us are happy in our love. We're blissed out. But we're very practical. We are our feet on the ground. We're very solidly planted in this earth. But we know where we're going. We know where we came from. And we're on solid ground. This card, though, is being portrayed as being in a rush, so to speak. A beeline. That knight is making a beeline. And it could be a woman. Which to say it's not. There's butterflies and birds on the harnesses of the horses. So he's flying through the air, or she's flying through the air, with a male sword in hand. So she's talking about strength. If there might be a woman who's holding the phallic symbol of the man, the woman holds the man in her hand when she's making sex, having sex, or her vagina, which would be her hand in that case, if it's that way. Then there's a plume-blooded warrior, in this case, whatever. So the knight is coming in to save the damsel in distress. Who's the damsel in distress? Well, here's the damsel in distress. The be mine mentality is a damsel in distress, or a dame. We say Notre Dame or Notre Dame. Same thing. A dame and a damsel are the same. One is younger, one is older. So this damsel is sitting on the throne as a queen, which means she's in a power position. Not necessarily a love position. Now, love is powerful, but we're speaking about power that's abused. That means power over, like patriarchal power or matriarchal power. So we interpret this as a power, and it's a type of a sexual psychic power because of the black cat that's there in front of her. So this would be her familiar, her black cat. So when she is seeing a black cat, she's going to be sure not to walk under a ladder. That's a superstitious element. Ever hear that? You see a black cat, don't walk under a ladder. That's when we were kids, we really believed that. Oh my, I saw a black cat. Yeah, stay away from ladders. Okay, I will. So what's this mean? Why is a black cat in the picture? Well, we don't know. But the black cat is a psychic, has a psychic component. Often, cats are mysterious creatures who have psychic abilities and so on. So we make a familiar. But the love government doesn't go into this psychic component of animality. In fact, the love government speaks against having pets at all. Because when you have a pet, you are controlling that pet. You've removed that pet from its natural environment. It's not natural. Pet was a cat or a dog or a horse, and they're beautiful in their wild state. And then, because everything is connected, we are connected to the animals in the way that we perceive them, in the way we deal with them. So if you want to be free, you're like the wild animals, and you communicate with the wild animals who themselves are free, and you're free, but you're interacting. But one is not having a power over the other. We're both in our own dignity and our own stature. But when you make a pet, you're destroying their whole culture. You're destroying them for all kinds of reasons. Mostly, I think, when I see it, I think it's neurotic reasons, because it's control of another species, control of an animal, and instead of getting love from ourselves and our peers, we use animals to get the love we don't really get directly from ourselves. So pethood is a real problem that we don't see, because it has so many apparently attractive motives. But a problem that is basically destructive will not be accepted unless it's got all kinds of positive qualities that disguise the destructive qualities. So when the love government talks about pethood, or in this case, having a familiar black cat with you, that's a unnatural situation that's going to prove ultimately destructive. We talk about that when we talk about the love government handbook, the 5 acts that we're doing that have a tendency to destroy ourselves, even though we don't know it. And it's what most of us are doing. Pethood is one of them. That's the middle finger of the handbook, is our animality. So this picture is bringing out part of that. We will talk about that much more at length when we get to the love government sex signs. Go more into detail what the handbook is. For now, we rest our case, brief as it is, by giving a love sign, which is the hand again. The hand. The hand itself is a sign of love, because we make love with our hands, or we don't. We make anti-love with our hands. So love, love, and always love. Thank you.